up things. That's why I love the boxing matches.
Glenn, good to see you. We look forward to that fight. Steve, back to you.
Thanks, Jim. Another member of the 40-something club.
Yeah, we got one sitting next to us, and they all fought each other. There's a lot of synergy going around.
Very incestuous.
Yes.
Round 8, scheduled for 12. WBC light heavyweight title on the line. Hopkins down at the end of the first, down to the third, but he has been coming on since.
I tell you what, guys, it looks as if Pascal now is just basically in awe with Hopkins. He's fading away, and he's disappearing right before our eyes.
Petro, like both Antonio and I, think he is digging himself out of this hole, Hopkins. Very small margin by two of the judges for Pascal. And we, in fact, have it close. I've got it 66-65 for Pascal.
I have it 67-66, 1 point down Hopkins.
The gap is tightening, the action's picking up, and Hopkins is clowning.
Got hit with a big left hook and did that, I think, as a mechanism of playing some games with Pascal.
Yeah, but it looks like Pascal has limited himself to the one counterpunch. He has to throw more right now. He's the champion.
And Pascal keeping his distance and going in retreat most of the time. Hopkins gaining in confidence. Got his swagger back.
Bernard Hopkins knows how to win title fights. He's 21-3-1 with 1 no contest in title matches. It's an amazing record in terms of the number and the win percentage.
Pascal 4-1 with 1 knockout in world title fights.
It looks like Pascal is back to that right hand, left hook, and it had success early on. Let's see what happens.
The right hand put Hopkins down in the first. The left hook put Hopkins down in the third.
It's been a better round for Pascal, as Antonio pointed out. This might have gotten him back in here and got his rhythm going again.
You know what, guys? I can pretty much speak from Pascal's point of view. I've been in there with Hopkins, and you know what? I went in that fight underestimating him because of his age. I just thought I was a fresher fighter. This is what I mean, mental strength. He has to know. He's questioning himself. How is this guy able to fight at this level at 45 years old?
Pascal jumping in before Michael Griffin was through separating the two. You were coming off Rocky Balboa. You put on a lot of weight. He had come off the 2 losses, so it was a strange situation when you fought Jones, when you fought Hopkins. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. it's Showtime's Emmy-winning series Inside the NFL. James Brown, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, Warren Sapp will recap all the week's action and update you on the hot playoff races.
And I'm a Bears fan, so I don't want to even talk about the NFL. Not after last week.
Well, the Bucs got a good chance to win, and
they do.
On the outside looking in for the playoffs.
Bernard Hopkins having his moments, though it was a much closer round, but there's the overhand right. But again, he was countered by the hook by Pascal. And, of course, that's vintage Bernard Hopkins, playing some games with the young man who he thinks now he has in his control.
A look of deep concern on the face of Pascal. Hopkins always the first one up and ready to resume. Round 9. Nice right hand to the head by Bernard Hopkins. That one landed cleanly. Another quick combination upstairs by Hopkins. Hopkins showing hand speed.
I think this round is very pivotal right now. We want to see, can the champion reclaim the momentum? I mean, the last couple rounds, you know, Hopkins has looked good, landed some shots, went deep to the body. I mean, he's letting Hopkins take the play from him, Steve.
He's definitely, he's the busier of the two here.
Key element will be whether round 4 or round 3, was scored a 10-8 or 10-9 round on behalf of Pascal. If it was a 10-8 round, then Hopkins had a bigger hole to try and get out of. Good shot by Hopkins there.
Hopkins continues to connect. The right hand's getting in.
Step back, man. That's it. Don't worry. Step back. Step back.
I mean, you look at this guy, he's in unbelievable condition. He's closer to 50 than he is 40. And he's fighting a guy nearly 18 years younger. And this looks like the first round for Bernard.
Yeah, you got to take your hat off to the guy who's been a great, dedicated, committed athlete for years. You know, he's never heard of him doing anything negative in the game. You know, even though he had a couple, bad glasses on him. But, hey, he's a stand-up guy and a great, great fighter.
Oh, big right hand by Bernard Hopkins. Big right hand to the chin. And that momentarily dazed Jean Pascal. He looks a little glazed.
Yeah, that hurt him right there. I mean, it buckled him. He can't afford to take those shots from Hopkins.
Comes back with a left hook over the top.
The overhand right's becoming a huge weapon along with the hook by Hopkins. And remember, Hopkins was not pressed early in this fight. That's why he's fresh at 45.
And he didn't receive any body shots from Pascal. I mean, he hasn't been touched to the body all night.
Remember, Pascal has never been down. He's got a great chin. He's very durable, great heart, grit and determination. It's going to take a lot to put him down.
And dare I say, this is a better fight than maybe some people thought, because Bernard Hopkins isn't always in great fights. But let me tell you, this has been fascinating and had more than its share of exciting moments.
Rising to the level of the champion. Pascal missing. Well, if this is Hopkins' last championship fight, fellas, he's going to go out on his shield.
You got to give the champion a little credit there. He had a beautiful combination right there and hit Hopkins with some good clean shots.
Final seconds of the 9th round. And things are really heating up in Quebec City.
Come on, step back. This kid is bullshit, man. This kid is bullshit, man. He is trying to bluff you now, baby. You're going to swing big. You're going to swing big. Come back.
Bernard Hopkins is not known as a combination puncher, although in his fight with Kelly Pavlik he did it a lot. But there, the jab and a straight right hand, and then he mixes in a left hook on the inside. Later in the round, the straight right by Hopkins. He tends to throw overhand rights. That was a straight one delivered very, very well. And from yet another angle, you can see that the jab is what set that up. When he uses the jab in his fight, Hopkins, very, very effective.
Well, if Pascal trained for the Hopkins he saw in the Roy Jones fight, he looked at the wrong tape. Problem with the left glove, the tape on the left glove of Bernard Hopkins, and Pascal is resting, taking advantage of every second.
You know, Steve, in the fighters meeting, it was noted that Pascal uses a sports psychologist. Well, he's going to need it through these championship rounds.
Well, speaking of that, Hopkins is 14-4-1 in 12-round fights, and Pascal is 5-1. So they're both good, but Pascal with less experience.
And Pascal has had some issues with stamina later in fights.
Yeah, he just walked into a beautiful counter left hook by Hopkins.
Nice body shot by Hopkins.
And, you know, Pascal landed a big uppercut when Hopkins came in. Pascal's not really hurting Bernard Hopkins right now with some of those shots, and that's key.
Round 10 scheduled for 12. WBC light heavyweight title on the line. The man on the left, Jean Pascal, his fourth defense.
This is a very, very close fight. These last few rounds are going to mean a lot.
By Bernard Hopkins.
It's important that the young champion back this man up. You know, he has to press Hopkins right now to let him know who's the champion. Right now, it's hard to tell.
The crowd trying to urge on Pascal. Nice right hand by Hopkins. Hopkins continues to score. Another right hand, missed with the left hook.
Yeah, Hopkins is doing some beautiful work right now. He's not loading up. He's delivering these combination punches, which is very effective.
The gap continues to tighten.
You see that two of the press row scorers, one from the Journal de Quebec and Herb Zurkowski from the Montreal Gazette, both have, well, Zurkowski has Hopkins up, and so does Bernard Fernandez from the Philadelphia newspaper. And I still have Pascal ahead by 1.85-84 in this fight, but it's close.
And I have the exact score you have, Al, 85-84 right now. It's close.
The 45-year-old Hopkins looks the fresher of the two. Hopkins sticks his tongue out at Pascal after being hit. Under a minute to go in the 10th. That was blocked by Pascal, the right hand.
I think Bernard Hopkins is going to look back in this fight and say, if I had only used my jab a little more earlier, I would have won many of those rounds.
He just got caught with a big overhand counterpunch. That's the type of stuff that Pascal was doing earlier. Let's see, can he continue?
Hopkins dug an early hole. Can he survive those two knockdowns? Seems to have been digging himself out of the hole round by round. Hopkins says, you didn't get me there. Hopkins on the attack. Pascal wards him off with the jab. And we're heading into the championship rounds.
Same thing for the next round. Keep attacking. Work on him. He gives you 2, I'm on 3. He gives you 3, I want 4. That's how you're going to win rounds. Come on, champ.
Tip your hat, baby. Find that right hand. Tip your hat. Find that right hand. Come back with that hook, baby. Not big. It don't have to be big.
Bernard Hopkins continuing to do great work to the body in the last round. Now, that was a tremendous uppercut by Pascal, but he threw it going backwards, as he so often throws his power punches, and it did not hurt Hopkins.
And obviously, it will not be easy to win a decision here in Quebec City, the champion's hometown. Is Hopkins thinking, I have to make some kind of a statement here in these championship rounds? We'll see.
A knockdown will help him out tremendously.
Reminder that the judge from the